All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to take apart what might be one of the shortest and honestly one of the most brutal poems ever written in English. It's this tiny four-line masterpiece by Margaret Atwood. And trust me, it does a number on everything you thought you knew about love and intimacy. It's like a surgical strike.
So it starts off, and it feels really tender, right? Like a sweet little confession. You fit into me like a hook into an eye. The rhythm is so soft, the words couldn't be simpler. You're immediately thinking, a perfect fit, a totally seamless union.
And our brains, they immediately go to a very specific, very familiar place. When you hear hook and eye, what do you picture? It's that little clasp on a dress, right? That delicate little fastener. It's an image of, domestic calm, of two things just clicking together perfectly. It feels safe. It feels complete.
But here's the thing. Atwood is setting a trap. That cozy feeling of safety? Totally intentional. And that little pause, that silence she leaves hanging in the air after the word I, that's the moment just before everything snaps. The nice, neat closure you were expecting? Yeah, that's about to turn into a gaping wound.
This is where it all hinges, on this double meaning. It's brilliant, really. On one hand, you've got the gentle little dress clasp, but hiding inside those exact same words is a totally different, way more violent reality, a barbed fishhook. And a fishhook isn't designed to close something up, it's designed to tear into living tissue and hold on for dear life. And then, bam, the hammer drops. A fishhook, an open eye. That's it, just 6 syllables, and the whole poem just curdles right in front of you. The image flips, it violently shifts from this cozy domestic scene to pure, visceral, biological horror. The effect is just electric, isn't it? The poem isn't just saying something. It's actively doing something to you as you read it. It's like it performs a vivisection on your nervous system. Seriously. Your brain was all set up, anticipating that nice little feeling of closure, and instead, wham, it gets the raw shock of a tear, of a wound.
Okay, so let's break down how this actually works, because it's more than just a clever emotional trick. It's neurological. Atwood is literally hacking your brain's reward system, and she does it in just 12 syllables. 12.
It's kind of like a 3-step process. First, you have that soft, predictable rhythm. It just lulls your brain, makes you feel safe. Then, step 2, the line break. It's a trap. It acts like a synaptic misfire, a deliberate glitch in the matrix that punishes you for expecting what comes next. And finally, step 3, your dopamine system gets totally hijacked. That little hit of pleasure you were anticipating is violently flipped into pure shock and recoil.
You could almost call it a cognitive Trojan horse. I love that term. The poem sneaks in, disguised as this beautiful little love poem, but it's carrying a payload of absolute pain. And for a second, it actually rewires your brain. It makes you associate the very idea of a perfect fit with the feeling of being torn open.
So, we've seen how the poem pulls off this trick. Now let's talk about what it's actually saying. Because this is basically Atwood's diagnosis of love itself. It's an expose of the quiet violence that we sometimes not only accept, but that we actually call intimacy.
What it does so brilliantly is it weaves together these two deep, fundamental human drives. On the one hand, you've got eros, right? The drive for connection, for union, for life. That's the perfect fit part. But at the exact same time, woven right into it is thanatos, the death drive. That's the brutal, undeniable knowledge that the hook is tearing flesh. And the crazy part is, they're not two different things in the poem. They're one and the same.
And you have to remember, back in 1971, this was a seriously radical thing to write. This was coming after an era where so much poetry just made women's pain seem, decorative, romantic even. Atwood's poem is just a hard no to all of that. It's like she's trying to decolonize the heart from all those Hallmark card lies, as one source puts it. And honestly, its brutal logic feels just as sharp, just as necessary today.
So why are we even talking about this? Why does it matter? Well, here's a little experiment for you, a challenge. Try to live with this poem in your head for just 24 hours. Just see what happens. I guarantee every time you hear someone say, "Oh, we just fit so well," it's going to ring a little differently. It'll sound like a threat. You'll start to flinch at touch. You'll see just how often our idea of a perfect union seems to demand that someone gets hurt.
Okay, but hold on. There's one last layer to peel back here, and it's a lot more unsettling. So far, we've been reading this poem as a kind of warning, right? But what if it's not a warning at all? What if it's a confession?
Let me just pose the question directly. What if the person speaking in the poem isn't just a victim of this violent connection? What if, on some deeper level, they're actually confessing a desire for the wound, a desire for the pain that this perfect fit creates?
This is what some call the black swan theory of the poem. The idea is that the open eye isn't just a passive victim, it's actively choosing not to blink. So, is it confessing the thrill of being caught? Maybe it even craves that permanent, irreversible attachment that only a painful, embedded hook can truly guarantee. It's this idea that there's a secret, almost masochistic pleasure hiding just underneath the surface of the critique.
And that really brings us to what this poem is ultimately all about. It's not here to offer a solution. It's not trying to give you a path to healing. Its entire purpose is confrontation.
This poem offers absolutely zero comfort. No prayers for healing, nothing like that. Its one and only job is to hold the wound open and force us, to stare right into the raw savagery that we clean up and sanitize and call intimacy. The real power here is in its brutal, unflinching refusal to let you look away.
And so you're left with this final, chilling thought that just flips everything we think about love completely upside down, that maybe, just maybe, the connection isn't perfect in spite of the pain. The fit is perfect because it hurts.